So I think DSA is inevitable. Like, definitely. I just want to say that, I will complete the bootcamp. Just give me some time. Good projects, good GitHub, good resume, good network. Leetcode is, something that everyone says that I've talked to. I think in the next 10 years, computer programming culture in India would be wiped out.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we have a guest, Kunal Kushwaha. Now, if you have been following my work, then you will know that on this channel we focus on creating value to the people. Kunal is the big example of creating value to the Indian tech community. In this particular podcast, we talked on a lot of different things: how to prepare for DSA for the job, how to start open source contribution, how to dominate your college life, and many more things. So I hope you enjoy this podcast, and without wasting time, let's get started. Alright, so first of all, thank you for joining. I reached out to a lot of people and very few people accept, and you gave the reply in 2 hours, so appreciate for that, for the joining. And I've been following your work, so I'll talk about all of those in the further podcast. So just wanted to start with your background, because in the tech community people generally think or people who start or grew in the tech community have good background, they already knew stuffs and had proper path. So wanted to understand, how did you get started in the tech field, and your journey began in the college?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it. Um, I get this question a lot, like, did you start programming in high school? Um, not that much. I had C++ in high school in CBSE boards. So they used to just teach us in Turbo C++, basic programming stuff. But more seriously, I started in freshman year only.
So it's your background was in the engineering, and maybe you got introduced to programming language over there and you started your career, right?
Yeah,
That should be it.
I did not do any serious programming before my college.
Okay, so everything is on the college. Yeah, so even I started with that. So I guess in my first year of college I got introduced to the basic programming language. Like C is the basic start you, and then you go with the Java and all the other concepts come to the picture. So that is the one thing that college plays very important part in your further life, and you just graduated. So the only difference between me and you is I graduated before the COVID 2019, and then just COVID hit, and you experienced the part of the COVID also. So you were in your second, third year, and you were in that journey, and content creation and everything happened. So we have a lot of different perspective in the college life, because I did something that helped me after the college, and you have done a lot of different things that is helping you right now. So want to understand what is the basic step a student should take in the college to prepare themselves for the further career.
So this is specifically for tech, right? Tech jobs.
Yeah, just a tech. Yeah,
I think it depends on what kind of college you are in. If you're from an IIT or whatever, I would recommend take advantage of the on-campus opportunities that you get. Those are pretty cool. But still, I'm not sure how viable that is and how many people get those great on-campus opportunities that you see, the crores and crores of packages. I don't know if it's 1%, 10 people, or 100 people. I have no idea. Just try to expand your horizons is what I would recommend. Like you mentioned, Arshil, you had some, you do some things in college, some people do some other things. So millions of developers in the world, everyone has a different success story. You just need to find yours. The best way to do that is just explore, get out of your comfort zone. Not just in college, while you're a student, take part in outside college activities. There's no one single roadmap, if you will. You just have to learn and explore and see what works for you, where your interests lie. So obviously everything starts with studying. If you want to get a job in tech, you don't know anything, so obviously you need to study. You need to know what you are interested in, web dev or machine learning or DevOps or blockchain stuff that is happening now. So try out things, see what works for you, then hopefully make a career out of that. But what to do in colleges depends a lot on colleges as well. But overall, explore, network with people, build your profile, try to get a good internship, then a good job, have a good resume, a portfolio, good projects, activities, all these things.
So so I understand, right? So in generally college, you have two groups kind of thing, if you sum it down. One who mainly goes behind the academics. don't have like anything against, because I also had like 9 pointers, so I won't say that the academics is bad. But other thing is you're building your personal part, right? Content creation, going to the networking events, hackathons, all of those stuffs are important. So if you go with that and explore the things and understand the tech, so wanted to understand this part of choosing the career, like you said, the web development or going into DevOps, data, whatever it works for you. Whenever people get started, people go with the narrow path and they just think that khali web development karna hai, I don't care about DevOps part, I won't learn the cloud computing because those things don't matter. So how do you think about just learning the coding part, because people only want to learn code, and learning the engineering aspect of it, understanding the overall concept, the computer networks, databases, how does that impact on the future side of the career?
I think highly depends on the roles. There are people like me who follow the T-shape or pie-shape learning. They know everything about something about everything. But then there are people who just know about who do kernel level stuff only, very hardcore in that. So I think it depends on person to person. As a student, like these subjects are helpful and interesting also. If you're working as a developer, that it's inevitable, like whether you want it or not, you would have to learn about, like you mentioned, networking. So it's not like,
Yeah.
can I do it or not? You would have to do it, and your job would require you to do it. So even though you find college subjects or whatever, and you're like, I don't like college subjects because of the way they teach in college or whatever. Try to learn it like on your own is what I would recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So again, you were in the college, so I'll talk about you right now. You did a lot of remote jobs. I mean, you talk about all of those things, right? Instead of getting in the job or traditional job, you can build your online persona and go about, like, your content creation can help you to open source contribution can help you to get the remote jobs and get in good amount. So this is what I've been through. I mean, I did not go with the remote job, but I went to the freelance path. So I figured out my own path and went with that. So now I work with the overseas company, and I see you also help students to follow that path. So can you elaborate, like, what is the first step to get started? Because I tried the open source contribution in the college, but I did not have any like people guiding me at that time. So I used to go check projects and I was like, oh, itna sara code base hai, who will help me to understand this, and give up. So this is the general problem people have. So what is the first step you get started for the open source contribution can lead you to remote job, or maybe remote job? Yeah, whatever works.
The thing with open source is, like the point you mentioned, every single student faces that, including me. I face that as well. You see a nice project you want to contribute to, it's so big, code base is huge, you're not able to understand something. People quit after seeing the code base because they don't realize that the contributions will not happen overnight. It will take a few months. So I think it's okay. There's no such thing as imposter syndrome with students, by the way. I don't believe in imposter syndrome for students. But what is imposter syndrome? You find yourself in a place where you don't know about something and other people know about other things. That's what imposter syndrome is. So in students, I don't think that should exist, because you are a student. People expect you not to know things, and not knowing things is your superpower, because now you will get to learn a lot and you'll get to contribute. So there's no such thing as imposter syndrome when it comes to students. It's just lack of experience and a great opportunity to learn and contribute. So whenever you find yourself in a place, you find an open source project, oh, this is huge code base, I don't know how to contribute or whatever. What is this library they're using? What is this framework? What is Kubernetes? And that thing, what is the CI/CD thing they are using? All these things are great because you don't know about it, but now you'll learn and you'll contribute. So your profile will be enhanced, your resume would be enhanced, your work experience would be enhanced, the open source experience. Best way to get started is just to get started. There is no roadmap for open source because every project is different. You would have to work hard. If you don't understand the code base, you'd have to study, Google, join the community. A few practical tips I can give is try to run it on your local system, clone the project, run on the local system, read the documentation, understand the architecture, look at the test cases, look at the beginner friendly issues that you can contribute to, try non-code contributions, and then you move forward with little bit smaller contributions of code, and then you move forward with like main contributions. If you directly do main contributions, you will be overwhelmed. So no shortcut, no roadmap. You would have
Okay.
to work hard. That's it. Study and work
Yeah.
hard, ask
So
questions. That's it. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, again, that is a good point because I've seen, you might also agree that in the tech community, people want shortcut. I mean, the quickest way to give me that DSA problem, and I want to crack the this particular job. So what do you think that these common mistakes people make if they want to prepare for the company or get started in the career? Because everyone has this problem. Even on my channel, people keep asking me the same question, कि give me this type of content, but when you even create that type of content, people don't follow that, right? I mean, specific content I'm talking about, let's say DSA, because I want to talk about your DSA course and everything in that. So these are some of the small mistakes people keep repeating and stay in the loop but never come out of it, like keep going through the DSA questions but never come out of it. So these are the mistakes. So do you agree with that, like, or do you see like these are the problem people are facing but they are not able to get aware of that or solve it?
I think it's called tutorial hell. You keep watching tutorials, but you don't do anything about it. It's one of the worst things you can do for your career as a student. I never say that my courses are enough. I always say self-study is key. Recently, I've started a DevOps bootcamp thing. So for that, I keep saying that don't just follow me. I have listed down like 10, 20 creators that you should also follow on YouTube for DevOps. So I think being open-minded and applying whatever you're learning is key over here. Same thing with DSA. It does not matter how many videos you watch. Videos will help. That's fine. So many, tons of DSA content out there on YouTube. So you can watch anything you want. But in the end, you'd have to practice yourself as well. Self-study. Take a random question, try to solve it. Otherwise, what happens is in the interview, you will know how to solve the question, but you won't be able to code it. You will know the
Okay.
logic, but you won't have practice, so you won't be able to code it. Some test cases will fail. And for development related things, hands-on practice is must. No matter how many videos you watch for Git and GitHub or web development or DevOps, you will not understand unless you try it out yourself.
So yeah, so what does the path look like to crack? So if someone is like completely new, right, in the tech community, like no idea about tech, so
Yeah.
what's your ideal path? I mean, shoot me the like straight away path
Ideal.
according to
I
you. What do you think, right? Not based on what everyone else thinks. What do you think?
I think especially for people in India, like there's the DSA route. You do DSA and you clear your coding interviews of big tech companies or whatever. So I think DSA is inevitable. Like definitely have a good command over DSA. In order to clear any coding interview of any company in this world, Leetcode is more than enough. Data researchers interviews, like they ask you coding questions, online coding rounds. Leetcode is more than enough. So do that, because better be safe than sorry. You'll be like, oh, Kunal got offers that did not ask him DSA, so we will skip DSA. No, but you have to understand, Kunal knows DSA also. Kunal knows a lot of things. Kunal has like I'm prepared for it. I was prepared for all types of interviews. Try to be like that, because otherwise you will be sorry. Oh, they are asking me DSA and I don't know DSA, even though you don't like it or whatever. Either that or don't even apply to companies that do DSA, like FAANG type companies, which is something I don't recommend. I recommend do apply, because if you have these on your resume, you can like then get some experience, move forward if you want or whatever. FAANG India, I'm talking about, not outside India. So I highly encourage people to apply to these companies as well. So for that, you need DSA. So prepare for DSA. Apart from that, I'm a realist, and I think opinions are based around experiences, and I like to give people my experiences. So when someone asks me for guidance, I like to point them towards the things that I have achieved, because I'm not anything special. I'm failed JE twice, 10th, 12th, 11th board marks very below average type, 70ish, 80ish. Wasn't really brilliant in high school either, and my CGPA is also not that great, and my attendance is dead. So well, I achieved these things without like anything special. My parents aren't rich, for example. Uh, so the path I'd like to give you is just DSA, obviously, do that. But the second point is try to find your niche, like what you're interested in, and try to build a profile around that. It does not mean that you have to have a lot of followers on Twitter. That's not what building a profile means. even if you have 100 200 followers. Okay, it does not really, followers is a vanity metric. It does not really mean, obviously it helps a little bit, but it's not a mandatory requirement. I would not want you to chase followers or whatever, because all the offers that I have gotten were before I had so many followers on like Twitter. The role I'm doing right now, when I got selected or whatever, got reached out, I had like 500 followers on Twitter. So when I mean learning in public, building your profile, I don't mean follower. I mean like your developer profile, good projects, good GitHub, good resume, good network. People should know when they look at your profile, like, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. In tech, it's very simple. You all are privileged. We all are very privileged being in the tech community, because getting a job in tech is like very nice. High paying jobs, remote jobs. You don't get a job, you start your own startup, freelancing, you can get clients. You're very privileged being from, if you want to get a job in tech, you are very privileged in terms of career choices compared to others. So take advantage of it. There are no shortage of jobs, at least in my experience. The offers that I've gotten, I'm like, okay, there's no shortage of jobs if I'm getting so many offers. So um, there's a two-step process only. First is study, you have to study, and the second is you have to apply that somewhere. So make projects, contribute to open source, or if you don't want to do open source, then make your own nice projects. But open source will definitely change your life if you can do it for the good. And then getting a job part mostly happens like on campus. If you have a good college, then that's great. If you don't have a good college, then networking and referrals, and open source helps with that. At least in my case, that is what it has been. So yeah, just try to be very good at what you do is what I would recommend, and people will reach out to you for jobs. Just focus on getting upskilled and representing that somewhere, and you won't need a roadmap or whatever. You will find your own thing.
So yeah, I mean, completely agree with the point, because there is a thing like skill. Okay, if you have a skill, let's say DevOps in your case, I'm a data engineer, so I have like the specific data engineering skill set. Now, mainly as a freelancer, I focus on the problem. So if XYZ company has the problem, I try to scale up and try to sell my services. That is a general thing that happens in the job also. Like, people are looking for you to solve the problems in the company. If you can solve those problems, then I mean, they will definitely hire you if you have those kind of skill sets. So path is again simple: the DSA, scale up and go forward with it. So I mean, a lot of people have this problem that the system is broken. I mean, last time I went to this event and people are complaining that, oh my god, this DSA system is like bullshit. क्योंकि कंपनी में तो यूज ही नहीं करना, क्यों सीखना, you know. So as per me, that the system is already built, and just like in order to get into the engineering college, you have to give the JE, CAT for the MBA and everything. I consider them as like the entrance exam. So it's you should give it, and then they'll filter you out, and you should go ahead. So what do you think about this? Like, is it broken? It can be changed, or do you agree with
Broken
the,
like
all
what,
points?
the education system or the job?
No, not the DSA part, the coding interview rounds, because a lot of there are like two
think-
people, right? One who says like
I think
it should be, yeah, go on.
I think so, a little bit. But when I was talking to other YouTubers, like there's this guy called Kevin Not Jr., if I pronounced that correctly, YK Dojo. He has millions of subscribers. So I was talking about their experiences, and they were saying that the lead code is enough. Lead code is enough is something that everyone says that I've talked to who have cleared top tech companies. Okay, that is 100% fact. That is true. And they were good questions. They were asking nice questions and stuff. But I talked to some other people who also got international offers or whatever, and their DSA rounds were a joke. Like, very popular DSA type questions, lead code easy to medium, and especially in India, like Amazon and Microsoft in India, the DSA rounds, they are a piece of cake. In Microsoft Engage, for example, some people this year did not even give a DSA round and they got an offer or whatever, which I think is okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. If you were given that opportunity, you would take two. I made a video on that, so you can learn about my views over there. But if it is broken or not, I think it also depends on the volume that applications that the big tech companies get. They can't individually access everyone on like a take home assignment or whatever. And I don't really mind it. It's okay. Like, DSA and that, because the questions these companies ask are not difficult. So why would I mind it? Microsoft India, Amazon India, the questions they are asking are Leetcode medium type questions, sometimes even Leetcode easy. So if they're not asking that difficult questions, then why would I mind that? It's easy, good for you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, makes sense. So, okay. So whatever happens, I mean, the system is built. You gotta face it and solve it.
Some companies have it like, yeah, like Facebook, for example. You give DSA round, then you will give, if you're giving production engineering interviews, they will ask you about like Linux or whatever. If you apply to startups, they might not even ask DSA. They'll ask you, and depends on the
Yeah.
job profile as well. So I think
Exactly.
instead of complaining, you should just do what you like, put your energy where you want
Yeah.
it. Yeah, companies can hire you
Okay.
however they want. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, makes sense. So again, follow-up question with that. I mean, so in my college days, I tried competitive programming. So I used to follow Rachit Chen, Gaurav Sen, obviously the big names, and try by myself, but did not work for me. I mean, I was very bad at it because I used to go on this online website, ScoreChef, top website at that time, try to solve the problem, could not solve it, see look at the solution, copy paste stuff, feel good about myself that I solved it and move forward. So this is what everyone does. Again, I've seen this pattern. So what do you think the way to solve these problem? I mean, how do you practice it? Because I'm sure you might have made this video on this particular topic, but what do you think like the step-by-step process looks like, and if you want to summarize?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about like compare programming because I don't do it. And you should not feel bad about yourself for like not making it in compare programming. No one in India has made it in compare programming. There have been none of the people in Google Code Jam finals, Facebook Hacker Cup, ICPC. No one has won a single trophy, even like top 10 or whatever. We stand nowhere compared to the global scale. I think as a country, we are at rank 31 or whatever. Some people may have gotten Google Kickstart ranks, but those are student level competitions. Top compare programmers like Tourist and others, they don't even take part in it. So that's not something that can help our country in moving up the ranks. So you should not feel bad about it because we can't be good at everything. We should look at the positive sides. So many amazing people have contributed to open source from India, revolutionary products. Cricket, we're very good at cricket, if not computer programming. I think it's okay. And the reason for that is because in India, people do it to get jobs, which is a myth. You don't need computer programming to get a job. And that's the reason why even for the next 10 years, we will not win a single medal. I think in the next 10 years, computer programming culture in India would be wiped out. Reason being remote work. So the remote work would be the end of computer programming in India in the next 5-10 years. To answer your question about solving problems, right? Mistake I see students make is that they solve questions randomly. Don't do that. Pick up a topic. Okay, this week I'm learning recursion. No problem. Go to Leetcode, filter questions with recursion, sort it according to difficulty. Try to solve questions that have good thumbs up ratings. Okay. Point number 2. Try to find patterns in these problems because that's what coding interviews are all about. You will given, okay, coding interviewer will be like, hey, you are given an array of numbers from 1 to n random order. That 1 to n random order in itself is a hint that you have to use cyclic sort. Okay, you're given n sorted list. Oh, n sorted list, that's a hint that I have to use heaps. Okay, subset type problem, subsequence type problems. You have like a sub array type problem, for example. If in a question you see sub array, it should click in your mind, this is sliding window 2-pointer. How do I know all these things? Because I made notes. And that's what my like DSA course is also focused around. So instead of just blindly solving question, pick up a topic, solve questions in those topics, make a note on your pen and paper, what type of patterns are being used in what type of problems, and find those keywords. That is why coding interviews are broken, and that is why it's very easy to clear coding rounds because it's broken. These are the patterns they use. So that's basically about it. And with trees also it's broken. Like you have to do like there's a popular Amazon question, connect the layers or whatever. Okay, I'm going like this. Okay, you do, or going like this. Okay, you do like BFS or DFS or whatever works for you. See, so these are where coding interviews are broken. Third pointer is that don't spend too much time on one problem. I see some people, they pick one problem, not able to solve it, 5 hours gone. Don't do that. Spend 15 minutes, think about it, code it. If you are not able to solve it, look at the hint. Maximum to maximum 30, or if it's a 30 minutes or something, or if it's a bigger problem, hard, 40 minutes type something. and then look at the solution if you're not able to solve it. After that, come back to that question after 1 week, solve it again, and then if you're still not able to do it, look at the hint, then come back again after 1 month, solve it again, and then you will be good to go. But don't solve questions like just for the sake of solving questions. Also solve it first with brute force, then optimize it. That is what interviews are all about. So those are the three pointers I'd like to make, and then you should be good to go.
I mean, yeah, I wish someone had told me this earlier, because I was in the hell, man. When I was trying, I mean, the goal was to get a job. So obviously I went with that path, but again, my life turned into it and I became something else. So no regrets behind it. So, I mean, everything about the competitive coding and everything aside, I had this question and I keep seeing this. I can't forget it. That Nation wants to know, when are you going to complete your DSA course?
Yeah, so the thing is that I started my community. Obviously, I'm an individual content creator, but we have a huge community.
Yeah.
And like, to be quite frank with you, um, I started the course. I know people are loving it and whatever, but it's just like I've started putting myself on priority. So as an entire community thing, I'm helping people out. I'm giving them scholarships to come to KubeCon North America. I will cover their flights and hotels and everything. I'm going to start an open source initiative program. I'm planning to do something different with the mentorship roadmap sort of a thing. So that should come out pretty soon. Regarding content, so all these things people help me out with. But content is content. No one can create courses for me. I would have to do that. And the thing I've realized with the Indian student community is that it's just not very positive, to be quite frank. I have not had good experience. I tried, you try to help people and whatever, and it has just not been good. There are great people who support me, and I'm really grateful for that. I have like close to 250,000 subscribers now on YouTube. So I'm very thankful to you all and grateful for that. But overall, the questions I get, the thought process of many Indian community students is just very toxic, to be quite frank. I'm not saying
Okay.
everyone. I'm a student from India. There are amazing people in the community classroom itself who run the community. There are people in the LFX programs, Google Summer of Code type, who are doing great work, open source. But on an average, I have seen that it is just very toxic. And as an individual, I really like to stay away from such things, and I really don't care about people who belong in this category. Ergo, I care more about myself and my career than than the student community in India, because it's just very toxic that I've seen, and I want to stay away from that. I will complete the boot camp, but it's just that my main focus priority right now is building my own career, and that is why I'm focusing more on the professionals. So you may have seen the videos on my
Okay.
channel are DevOps, tech content related to DevOps and systems and all these other things. Events that I go to are not student events. You will not find me at a single student event. In my entire college life, after the pandemic, after I gained some like popularity or whatever, I think GitHub Field Day that happened in Delhi around last month, that was the only student event that I've been in India, because I try to stay away from toxicity. It's very much toxicity. Um, this is just my personal views. If I say something is cringe, it does not mean it is cringe. It means that it's cringe for me. It's if I don't like a song, it does not mean that song is bad. It just means that I don't like it.
I mean,
Right?
so I
So it's
understand,
just
right?
like,
Yeah.
check
You're
out
just putting out your own point
yeah,
of
so
view.
check out my Twitter.
Yeah.
The questions are there very cringe, very bad questions. And whenever I go to events like KubeCon and like around the world, I was in Spain like in May or something. The questions I got from the professionals that I interacted with, the people who are working in the field around the
Yeah.
world, global experience, amazing. I made my mind, it made me happy. All the stress was gone. Then I came back and I did one live stream with my community of students, and I got headache. So I think it's good as well that I'm saying this, because it is very unhealthy for you to be dependent on one person. Other community members say, other YouTubers or whatever they say, follow me, I am everything, I will help you. I am saying, on the other hand, leave me alone and take guidance from the community in itself. Okay, the community will help you. You want guidance about open source, web development, machine learning, join a community, open source project, get involved over there, ask your questions. I can't help you. I don't have
Yeah.
the time to answer every DM or reply to every message. If the community was a little bit healthier, students were well behaved, then I would probably prioritize their future. But I am prioritizing mine.
All right. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I mean, if everything gets toxic, and I also followed the controversy, so it's none of the big deal. I mean, you should focus on yourself. That's a good part. The community part, I mean, people should also understand a little bit
I do
about
I do
being
care about the
fair
community.
enough.
I do. That is why I'm running all these initiatives for students
Yeah,
in India. Like I'll do an open source program. We will do regular hackathons that are keep on going. I'm coming up with a mentorship portal sort of a thing that will help them. The KubeCon Travel Fund. So I care about definitely the community as a whole. I'm running CNCF students, for example, but I don't care about individuals. I care I
yeah,
care about
understand.
you as a community, but not about individuals. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to watch, I really do not care. But if some
Yeah,
professional comes to me, they're like, "Oh, Kunal, I have a business. We're trying to run Kubernetes or whatever. How do we optimize cost?" I will give them my 100% attention because I like interacting with such people. But I don't like interacting with
okay.
most students who are toxic. But I interact with students. I'm not saying I don't. I interact. There's some great people in the KATES community who are doing the localization work. I followed them on Twitter and in the open source community. And I'm going to a GitHub event in Mumbai. I'm looking forward to that. Some good students will come there from Twitter. So I like interacting with such people. But overall, as a community, I try to make my distance, especially from Indian student community.
Yeah. I mean, totally up to your point of view. It's your choice. You should do what makes you comfortable. So nothing wrong with that. So I mean, yeah, let's distance with that. Let's not go there right now. So I just wanted to understand. Have you read this book, E. Balaguru Same C++ or Java book reference books?
No.
Do you know E. Balaguru Same? Because I was going through your course content, the Java thing, where you explained everything, right? The how the Java code gets executed, like converts it into the barcode and the classes and everything, the JVM machine, how it get
Yeah.
executed. So those type of quality content, I mean, I found those on book, and I found in your content, because these are like the top level engineering content, because people generally don't teach this. People teach hello world, if else, and all those things, but nobody tells you why this code executed, how it got into the main, how the compiler worked, and why the machine is able to understand the final thing. So well done for that, and I really appreciate your content for that. Just wanted to point
Yeah,
this
I just want to say
out.
that I
Yeah.
will complete the boot camp. Just give me some time. I'm working on I just graduated, so I'm working on shifting to my full-time roles and um, on these three initiatives that I just mentioned to you. But it's not my priority. But yeah, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, no issues. So want to understand, it's like nobody knows what you really do on day-to-day basis. Apart from the content creation part, I want to understand your technical role, like on the DevOps, like what kind of tech stack you work on, what do you deploy, because you also need to know multiple things. Let's say if you are going to deploy the website, you should know about little bit about the website,
Yeah.
the networking part, the VPC and everything. So can you like summarize your day-to-day working
Yeah,
experience?
I've been working at CO. CO is a cloud native service provider. I started working as a developer advocate, and I don't think I've shared this anywhere, but I'll be joining full time as a DevRel manager. My role has been like DevRel is it's a mix of a bunch of roles, right? So you have the tech part, you have the marketing part, you have the business part, and a lot of other things. My day to day includes basically pretty much about that. Blogs, documentation. We're working on some new features, like maintaining open source projects and things like that. Collaborating with the community, which is something I'm really good at. Coming up with initiatives. Mostly like writing tech blogs, creating content and tutorials. Being the one of the points of contacts when it comes to all thing developer advocacy at the company. So you definitely need the tech experience, otherwise you would not be able to talk to people. And one more thing is we have a SEO marketplace, so it's being maintained by the maintainers, but if some new apps comes in, we work on that. As my main role would be focused on like as a DevRel manager, like uplifting the DevRel community, putting SEO out there, and that's what every other DevRel does as well. Going to events, staffing the SEO booth, doing demos. So DevRels, you will find them at KubeCon at the booth all day. They will be interacting with customers and giving them demos and things like that. Taking community feedback, what features you would like to have and all these other things. Coding related side as well, like a little bit, I can't share this obviously, but it's a work in progress. Like we'll announce it soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, DevRel's work on like the docs part and the features part as well. Mostly in open source because all the work they do is public. So yeah, I mean it's a pretty fun. I get to travel. I get to move around. Get to meet companies and individuals and talk about their business needs and how CVO can help, for example. So if you're a startup working with Kubernetes, let me know.
I mean, so that's like looks very new, or maybe a lot of people don't know
It's
about
not
this role.
it's
Yeah,
not that
looks like that.
it's not that new. It's not that new. I I I mean I'm new to it as well.
Yeah.
I've been only 1 year and I just graduated. So as a DevRel manager, obviously the roles and responsibilities would be enhanced, but you definitely need a tech experience. Otherwise, you won't be able to strive in the field. And obviously, with the DevOps thing is like so many tools and technologies keep coming out, so you have to be up to date with it. So if you like talking to people, you like going to events, you like tech, you like advocating about tech, I think go with the DevRel path.
All
It's
right.
pretty good.
Yeah. Looks like the new thing to explore. So amazing. Going places. So I mean, yeah. I have like now questions about the content creation part. So everything we talked about, the tech, the jobs, and all the stuff. The Twitter. All right. You tell people like create content on the Twitter. LinkedIn, you don't recommend. I know. Generally, most of the time, my niche is like YouTube and LinkedIn. Maybe I'll go on the Twitter in the future. So why Twitter? I mean, sell me the Twitter. Why should I create content on Twitter and all the other people? Yeah.
You don't have to create content on Twitter.
Okay.
As I mentioned, like it's up to you. Like don't have to post every day or whatever. Um, it's just that you can be active on Twitter because most of the developers are active on Twitter. So the developer community on Twitter is very good. This will help you in your job hunt and referrals and personal profile building, finding good connections around the world. That's the only reason I recommend Twitter.
Okay.
LinkedIn also, like until like if you like LinkedIn, go for it. If you don't like LinkedIn or whatever, still till you get a job, try to be active on LinkedIn because the recruiters hang out on LinkedIn. Twitter, LinkedIn, both are good, but I like Twitter more. So, yeah, to answer your question, why Twitter? Because most of the developers hang out over there.
All right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
good communities to be part of. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, with that, the networking part, right? I mean, I'm online on Twitter. I talk to a lot of people, but also I want to meet new people, network with them, because even if I go, I'm an introvert personality, so I won't talk to the lot of people in the tech community. People are a lot of introvert, code stuff, and don't go out and sit under the screen. So, how do you overcome that? When you go to the event, how do you hit the conversation? How do you try to talk, build a good relationship, not just for the job but for the long-term relationship? Yeah.
I think it's also about like how interested you are in what the other person is doing. I get that like as an introvert it can be hard, but you have to understand these events are very inclusive. They have strong code of conduct. So if you go to a booth, for example, at KubeCon, and people ignore you, that's a code of conduct violation. The community and the conference organizers will follow up with them and give them a warning or whatever, take necessary actions. So no one will ignore you like that. So I think yeah, I mean just be curious about what others are doing and how you can learn from it. As a student, don't just network in order to like, okay, I network with this person, they will give me a job. If they do give you a referral or whatever, that's totally okay. If you're contributing to open source to get a nice job, completely fine. But that should not be like the deciding factor whether you should talk to an interesting person or not.
All right.
Just be interested in what they do and learn from their experiences.
All right. Yeah. So I guess I had like this much question. I don't even know what to ask you now, because you already covered a lot of things from TSA to college stuff and the content creation. Is there anything you want to say, like last few words to the people who are watching? I mean, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, don't be just like mentorship should be like decentralized. Get involved in global communities that are active around the world. That will really help you. And just just do good work and be empathetic is what I would say. In that's what communities are all about. And hard work and just representing your work should be more than enough. Have fun while doing it. That would reduce the overwhelmingness or whatever, if that's a word. So I had a lot of fun learning about new things, trying new things, and Yeah, just don't compare yourself with others. And there's actually a video I did with Rahul and Alex, who have worked at Facebook, or 10 mistakes you should avoid as a student. So you can watch that one. That will help you.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, just explore and try things out.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll link down the video in the description so all of you guys can watch it.
Don't spam
Yeah.
anyone.
No.
You spam it, it will make people like me get more distant from the student community. So if you're respectful and you're humble and good, people like me would
Yeah.
also support you.
Yeah. I mean, be good. I mean, the content creation part, it takes a lot of effort. So I'd say, based on the point of view, you agree, disagree with anything. I mean, don't spread the hate. It's every day you want to learn and you want to grow in your career. So focus on that. Don't get into anything other than that. So yeah. So alright, thank you Kunal for joining. I mean, that was awesome. So if you watched this video till the end, then write the comment, I watched this video till the end. That way I will know you actually watched this video till the end to understand all of the different things we talked about. And as always, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you are new here, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.